Hello, this is Fred Roberts with the International Log Builders Association. And today on our series of videos, we've got Bob Miller, excuse me, Bob Miller. And Bob Miller is got a pretty good history in this industry. And Bob, how you doing?
Good, really good, thanks.
Good, good, good. The people are interested in you, and so we told them we was going to bring you. And so if you would tell us a little bit about Bob Miller, the history, the facts, and then be prepared. Make sure at the end, Bob, that we have a phone number and an email address, because after people watch this, they're going to want to contact you. And don't blame it on us, blame it on yourself for being such a good guy. So anyway, go ahead, Bob.
Well, I got involved in the log building industry in 1976. I was working with Ed Campbell, and he needed someone to draw his buildings for him. So I volunteered. I had been to school for drafting, so I had a bit of knowledge, and he guided me through what he required. And as they say, from there on, everything is history. We've done probably 300-400 log homes over the years, and we've had a tremendous amount of support from New York State, Arizona, up until about 2008 when the market crashed. And since then, we've been doing primarily local stuff, and we're doing more frame buildings and that kind of thing. So, but there's I have an assistant who helps me out on occasion, and I try to keep him as busy as possible. In the last couple of years, we've probably done maybe a half a dozen log homes, and the rest of our work is frame stuff for renovations, that kind of thing. So we're quite proud of the product we produce, but we don't know everything, and every project is a learning process. So it's every builder builds totally different than the last one. So they need specific drawings and, details, that kind of stuff. We can supply generic.
Bob, what is normally, let's say someone gets hold of you and they want some drawings of a log home. They want some architectural work done. What is the normal process? Do you go out in the field? What exactly do you normally?
Because we've done so much work international, what we usually get is a sketch from the client. They say, can you put this together as a log house? And as a result, we'll sit down on the phone with them or on Zoom or what, and go over what they want. And from that, we create what I refer to as a preliminary set of drawings. And I send them to them, and then they can return them to me all marked up. The more notes that they have on it, the better. And from there, we can produce a complete set of drawings. We're not an engineering service. We're not an architect. So as a result, we have to be careful what we refer to ourselves as. And basically, we're a drafting service. So,
right. Have you found more people are doing? I guess in the BC area, more people are doing milled log homes or hand hewn log homes, or do you do both?
Well, it's we did a lot of homes, milled homes down in Arizona, but in BC, most of it is hand scribed. And I refer to hand scribed buildings as real log homes, and the manufactured ones as basically manufactured. So, but we've had requests over the years to do all different types of log work, whether it's D-shaped manufactured or hand scribed or anything else. And as a result, we've had some rather unique experiences, and we've had some very positive comments from some of our clients, and most of the people that we deal with are quite happy with the product that we produce. So like, I really have to emphasize the fact that I'm not an engineer. So
Right.
uh,
Well, I'm
a lot
not
of
either.
a lot of the stuff that has to go to an engineering firm to be confirmed, depending on your building officials as well.
You know, Bob, a lot of time the man that's doing the drawings like yourself, you've got to be somewhat of a mind reader.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure. It's our job to get in the back of the client's head so that we can understand exactly what they want. And we're not happy until our clients are 100% happy as well.
Right.
You know,
The I guess most of the homes that you're seeing in BC are what are they called? Western red cedar? Is there?
well, there's a variety of different materials. There's a Western red cedar is a product that's getting harder and harder to get, especially building logs. And some areas have an abundance of them, and others don't. But a lot of people are building with fir. Fir is a product that is a little bit harder on your equipment, but it produces an excellent product. So,
Yeah.
and pine is probably the least popular. Spruce is a very popular wood in BC. So there's still areas where you can get really good building logs.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting that what you're saying about the pine and so on and so forth, depending on where you're at in the country, the lower 48, or I call it the upper 13 or whatever it is. Y'all are the upper 13, we're the lower 48.
Yep.
And depending on where you're at, if you were over in Georgia, pines all they use over there. If you get over towards Texas, is spruce, fir, whatever. And of course, you get up in BC, you've got a variety of logs over there too.
Yeah, cedar has some issues with it. There are a lot of people who are allergic to cedar dust, so they try to stay away from it. But I think fir is probably one of the most popular building logs in BC.
Tell me about a unique situation you ran across in the log home. I'm sure everybody wants to know that one story you've got that you looked at it and went, "What? What are you talking about?" But I'm sure there's a story there somewhere.
Well, every job we get is a challenge, and that it takes I won't say a special mindset, but after you've done a few of them, you have to set your mind into how does this house go together? What's the effects it's going to have? And I tell clients there's only three things you have to know about a log house. The first is shrinkage, the second is shrinkage, and the third is shrinkage. So if you take those things into consideration and you allow yourself enough headroom, especially on the main floor, underneath your log floor joists and stuff like that, then you won't go wrong. But I like to design homes that are roughly, the log work is 10.5 feet. A lot of builders like to build 9.5 feet, but that extra foot costs the builder quite a bit. But at the same time, I believe it produces a better home. So, but as far as unique customers go, I've had so many.
Every one of them is different, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure. We had one client in New York City who was building, and it was a combination concrete home with log, and he asked me to find the biggest logs I could. So I phoned up a friend of mine who's a log builder, and I said, "What's the biggest logs you can get?" He said, "Well, 4 feet in diameter if you want." So I phoned back the client and said, "Well, we can get a 4-footer." And there was a long pause, and he said, "Well, maybe we should have something a little bit smaller than that."
That'd be huge, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that deal?
Yeah. But
just handling them would have been something else.
Oh, definitely. So we've had some very interesting projects. We did a project in Lake Placid one year. This is a number of years ago. the client was a helicopter pilot and he was working out of India. So we had to send all the drawings to India for his
India?
India, yeah. And then we've had, I have a good friend who's building down in New Zealand, and I did some drawing for him. And he did a combination ICF home with some big Douglas fir beams in it. And in New Zealand, I don't know if you're aware, but they planted Douglas fir trees around the Second World War, and now they're starting to harvest them, and some of them are pretty big.
Huh. I wonder what, yeah, I wonder what made them plant fir trees at the end of World War, what'd you say, World War II?
Yeah, around World War II. So well, they had a lot of their natural forests were burnt off prior to the Europeans settling there, and as a result, they wanted trees because they get some real cold winds off of the Antarctic in their winter, and they've had a friend of mine had a farm down there, and then they had sheep, and their next door neighbor had sheep, and they lost 3,000 lambs one winter because of the cold wind.
Wow.
So, but you know, it's every area is different, and I think now that Russia's in the market, I think they're supplying some pretty interesting timber.
Well, let me ask you this, Bob, because people are they're going to be looking at this video, and Bob builds or designs, excuse me, all types of homes.
Yep.
And of course, you know, when you're doing your drawing, do you take in consideration of all the insulation and all those factors?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we can supply the numbers if they want, but a lot of that is relied upon your energy advisor. And there are energy advisors that I've talked to that say that they can get a log home in BC down to an 8-inch log, which I find a little bit hard to believe, but
Right.
you know, most energy advisors will if they're interested in logs, and not all of them are, but they'll have their own specific calculations that they do to.
Right.
And it all depends on the species, and like your cedar is your best, whereas I think the next would be fir and spruce and pine. Right.
I tell you what, I'm going to recommend that people call you or get hold of you. What would be the best way for an individual to contact you, Bob?
Well, I have they can contact me via the internet, bob@rsmdrafting.com.
Repeat that one more time.
bob@rsmdrafting.com. I also have a website that'll show some of our work, or they can phone me at 250-764-1420 is my landline, or if they want to contact me on my cell, that's 250-212-3212.
And the best time to contact you during the day is whenever?
24/7, 365.
24/7, 365?
You betcha. Anytime.
You're on Pacific time, aren't you?
Yep, you betcha. Yeah,
okay, I guess I'll tell those people in New York or over on the East Coast, don't worry about the clock, just give him a call.
Yeah, for sure. Not a problem.
Okay. Well, we sure appreciate it. And you've got many years of experience and lots of things to add. And I recommend people to give you a holler, just due to the fact that I bet you're the kind of guy that you answer the phone and you'd visit with them, and so and I've seen some of your drawings and so on and so forth, and I probably in the United States, I probably insure some of your houses, but I recommend everybody call you. And
Well,
is there
thank you very
anything
much.
you'd like, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Would you like to finish up by saying anything in particular or?
No, we like to talk about log homes and construction in general. And
Right.
my wife says I'm full of useless information, but I think some people could probably find some of the information useful. But, we've been in business for 45 years and we've had a lot of different experiences. And, if we can help you out, give us a call.
Well, with 45 years experience, if you've probably run in just about everything. And
Well, and every project is new and interesting. So,
okay. Well, all right, Bob. People, I recommend you. It's called RSM
RSM,
Drafting.
yeah, RSM Drafting Services.
Okay. Well, we're going to recommend that people give you a call. And do me a favor. Let me know when people start calling you what's going on and what kind of questions
Okay.
they're asking. I'd be
I will.
interested in that.
Very much so. Thank you very
All
much
right.
for your time.
All right. Well, take care. And we'll see
Okay,
you
you
soon.
too. Right on. Take care. Thanks.